Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to INX Prime. The highly anticipated Gill 360 Padel League player auction takes place this Friday night at the DP World Wondrous Cricket Stadium. This innovative IPL-style tournament is set to make waves in Johannesburg, bringing together padel enthusiasts from across the city. With 96 players up for grabs and 8 squads of 12 players each, this inaugural season promises excitement, competition and top-tier sportsmanship. Headlining the event are some of South Africa's finest marquee players, including Adam van der Harte as well as Egmond van Heerden. Joining us today to discuss this groundbreaking event are two key figures behind the league, Mohammed Majam as well as Sarfaraz Bismillah, joining us once again on Prime Live. Assalamu alaikum and thank you for joining us once again on Prime Live.
Wa alaikum assalam. It's wonderful to be here.
It's amazing to see how 360 Padel has grown since our very first interview on this platform, and really congratulations to you and the entire team on coming up with this amazing concept. And Mohammed, let's talk a little bit more about that. The tournament itself is going to be styled as like an IPL league. Can you please explain that to us?
Sure. So the IPL concept is a franchise-based league. Most of the leagues that are running in Padel at the moment are based on pairings. So you play as a pair and you play in a specific league, and depending on where you finish, that's how the league works. This is the first of its kind that we know of, where we're bringing together squads of players. So we're making padel more of a team sport in this regard. It has been done in the US and other places as well. But what we've gone in with is a franchise-based model with ownership from the outside. Owners then have the discretion to put together their squads based on certain rules that we have in place. And it's then no longer reliant on you as an individual and your partner as a pair in terms of performance. You got to work as a squad and as a team. So you're only as good as your weakest links, and that's what it's about. So it's about uplifting players, getting players to come to the level of the marquee players. So to bring the level of players up, and essentially that's why we're doing this.
I really love that. I love the concept of bringing together a platform like this to be able to, express the sport, to be able to also hone in on the skills of, the padel players in South Africa and provide them with a platform to be able to play, grow their skills, as well as, create a space where people can enjoy padel together. So I really love that. Sarfaraz, we have an amazing and exciting black tie event that is happening on Friday. Now, a lot of us are unfortunately not going to be able to be there. Can you tell us a little bit more about Friday's event? What can people expect, and tell us a bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. So look, it's the first of its kind padel auction. As Mohammed mentioned, we've created 8 franchise teams, and the expectation is that the owners are going to have to purchase the players to play on those teams. Now, how do you qualify for this? There were 3 avenues. Typically, you had to be involved in previous 360 events to be eligible to play. You could then also be nominated by the franchise owners for inclusion in the event, and then of course we had an open registration link which allowed players to join the actual player roster, thereby aligning to some of our stated objectives around growing the game, and then also carrying that all-inclusive approach. So Friday night, as I said, it's going to be a first of its kind. We were looking for an iconic venue in Johannesburg. Doesn't come bigger than the Wondrous Stadium, so that's going to be phenomenal. The involvement of some of the higher profile players like the Egmond van Heerdens, the Adam van Hartes of the world automatically sort of elevates the profile of the event and of the league itself. So I think from a sponsorship perspective, people are happy, the players are happy, the owners are happy, and so we're really looking forward to putting on a good event. I think it's going to be exciting for everybody involved.
It definitely sounds exciting. I mean, from my side, I'm very sad that I'm not going to have the opportunity to be there. And I really congratulate how far 360 Padel have come and how much you have done for the sport and for the players in South Africa as well. It's vital to create these kinds of platforms where players can engage and grow as well within the sport. Now, Mohammed, I know, like you guys were saying, this is a one-of-a-kind event in South Africa, and it's the first of its kind. And I know that this must have been a mammoth task to put together. Did you have any partners or sponsors who really helped you bring it all together and bring this vision to life?
Yeah, absolutely. We could never have done this without the partnership and sponsors, especially the scale and scope that we're going. We've had to have brought on several distinguished sponsors who've been on this journey with us from the start. So it's called the Gill 360 Padel League. in association with fileaccess.ai, and both Gill and fileaccess have been great partners to us. Mohammed Saluji at Gill has been a partner with us for the last 5 or 6 tournaments that we've had, and he's been a key role player in the shaping of this tournament as well. And then we have Lovkesh Arora from fileaccess.ai, who've really given us a different spin in terms of professionalization of the league. And then we have really good associate sponsors that have come on board. We have the major international brand Decathlon. Decathlon is a massive sponsor of Padel in Spain and other places where Padel is really big. And Decathlon felt that 360 was the right avenue for them to try and break into the South African market. And we really think that it's a really good collaboration, because they have some excellent products which really need to be seen as for the value that they have. With the ban on Coca-Cola that's taking place, a lot of people have moved towards Kingsley, and we've partnered with Kingsley on their energy drink brand Isorade. And so Isorade have come on board as the drink sponsor for the league, which has been amazing. And then lastly, we have Plaga Padel, again a big brand in Europe which is trying to break into the South African market, who are coming on board as a ball sponsor. So we primarily have 5 major sponsors that will carry us through this event. And yeah, we're thankful for all the owners and the sponsors that they've brought on board, because each owner comes with 3 or 4 different sponsors that have sponsored them in order to build their franchises.
I really love that. I mean, it's amazing to see 360 Padel working with the likes of, such big houses and brands, and, being the imprint or really the entryway into South Africa, and you being the platform for that. It's absolutely amazing to see. So Faraz, we have a lot of Padel enthusiasts all across South Africa, and the numbers of Padel enthusiasts are absolutely growing. Mm-hmm. So if they're not Padel players, they're sometimes enthusiasts and love to be able to engage, watch the sport, and be part of the IPL League. And we hope that the IPL League will be as big as the actual IPL League, and that it will bring fans from all across the country to come and watch these games. Now, for the Padel enthusiasts who are watching, how can they engage with the upcoming games? How can they engage with the league? Can they come and watch any of the games? Can you give us a bit more information?
Yeah, absolutely. So look, I mean, we run a good show through our social media platforms. We're in discussions with various streaming companies that would be making available the footage of all the league matches as they take place on the match days throughout the course of the season. So please keep an eye on our social media platforms. All the relevant details will be posted there in terms of how you can engage with us, how you can view the matches as they take place, and we'll make sure that everybody gets some good coverage.
Now, I know a lot of the Padel players who are watching our interview right now want to know, how can they actually get involved in the league? I know you mentioned things about, some of the qualifications and how do you actually qualify to play in the league. They are super keen and excited to hear more about how they can actually play in the leagues and how they can, be part of this amazing movement.
So I think it's been a very challenging aspect, especially because the demand is so high. We felt very, very passionately about giving back to the individuals that got us to where we are. And so we put a very specific rule in place that 7 out of the 12 players in the squad need to come from the 360 family per se. So we, in that way, make sure we do right by the players that were participating in our tournaments to date and got us to where we are. So in order to qualify as a 360 player, you've had to have played a minimum number of tournaments, and depending on how you fared in those tournaments, you were given a specific rating that qualified you to be part of that. Our 360 roster sits well over 250 right now, of which the top 70 or 80 became eligible to play. And then we had the outside nominations where the owners who came on board could bring in their quality players. So if you think of the IPL, you have the Indian-based players who form the core of each side, and then you have your overseas professionals or your marquee players that come in to support that. And we've seen what it's done for Indian cricket. It made Indian cricket a powerhouse where youngsters who would never have the opportunity to play with the AB de Villiers of this world, and that were given the opportunity as youngsters to rub shoulders with them and learn from them. So similarly, the 360 players who are at a level 1.5 are now going to rub shoulders with a Riyad Motani, perhaps 4.7 rated player, or an Egmond van Heerden a level 6 player. So having, I think, 6 of the top 10 players in the country in the event really does to that. It creates a learning experience for the players, and I think for the marquee players, they were more excited to come on board than anything else, because they saw the potential and how they can grow their own profiles as coaches and really come and enjoy the tournament. So we're trying to cater to everyone, but it's very difficult to do so. In year 2, we have ideas of how we're looking to expand it to accommodate more players. There's definitely that in the works. There's even expansion into other provinces, which are currently in the works. But we first want to get this right before we even start thinking of going into the other provinces. So, I think the next 3 months are absolutely critical in terms of delivery of an excellent product. And so we keep our sponsors happy, our players happy. Everyone, that's part of the 360 family, the owners and everyone included, need to really get value for what they're coming for. Unfortunately, we can't have everyone play. It's the same thing with, if I think of the SA20 tournament that took place in South Africa a year ago, Demba Bavuma was South Africa's captain at the time, didn't get chosen for one of the franchises. So similarly, you might have really excellent players not able to have a show.
In closing, Sarfaraz, what is the future for 360 Padel? What can we expect?
Yeah, look, I think our playership has come to expect a certain standard of our events, and we're known for introducing something new. So, of course, this was the big thing that we were going to be rolling out this time around. So we're looking forward to setting the foundations, successful season 1, and then looking at an expansion project for season 2, perhaps a premiership division, maybe a junior structure as well. But for now, we're focused on dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and delivering something that our viewership expects of us.
Love to hear that. Viewers at home, that was 360 Padel. Do reach out to them on all their social media platforms to follow the league, and maybe you'll be playing in the next season. You never know. But on behalf of myself, Mohammed, Sarfaraz, and the entire team at INX Prime, we greet you Assalamu Alaikum, and we'll see you again tomorrow.